Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Arsenal have been told to sell in order to buy. The strategy that the Cronkies want Arsenal to employ this summer is one in, one out. So that means that if Arsenal are going to sign a left back, one of Alexander Zinchenko and Kivio has to leave. If we have to sign a midfielder, we must sell a midfielder. And if we must sign an attacker, one of the players in attack has to leave. It's a very, very bizarre strategy because at the moment, Arsenal don't have a lot of time before preseason, and it means that if Arsenal do not sell, we might actually not buy. We're going to talk about that. Now, Pedro Neto has given the green light to Arsenal to join us. He sees Arsenal as a priority move over staying at Wolves and any other team. However, at the moment, the teams are not in contact. Talks have happened between Arsenal and the representatives of the player, so we wait to see what happens there. Fabrizio has confirmed that Nelson has agreed personal terms with West Ham, and Crystal Palace will bid 30 million in the next hours for Emile Smith Rowe, as he's a very important player for Oliver Glasner, the manager at Sea Palace. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Lots to dive into, especially with that Pedro Neto story, but also KSE are saying if we are going to buy players this summer, we must definitely make some sales. So let's start there. So Team News Antique says that one of the reasons as to why we have had a slow start to the summer is this. We don't have any financial issues that are known or recorded at the moment. However, sales are a priority, as KSE or people above on the board are saying they don't want to keep investing if there is no return from transfer fees. That is where we are. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Listen, it really makes a lot of sense because we have a couple of deadwood players that the manager doesn't trust. And I said this during the end of the season, last season, that Mikel Arteta has really gone with around 14 players or 15 players that he wants to play with, around 15 players that he trusts. It means that what you're telling the Cronkies is that you have around 10 players that you're not using and you're not willing to use as part of your squad. And therefore, if you're the Cronkies, you don't have a reason to invest more money in the squad unless the Edu and Mikel Arteta get rid of the players that they are not using. And I also asked the big question, why are we really giving Reece Nelson 100k a week? Why are we giving Edin Ketia 100k a week? And these are players that the manager doesn't trust, and these are players that the manager doesn't want to use, and now we have to get rid of them in order to buy. And the Cronkies are saying, hey, you've given them 100k, we are not going to sign more players, yet you have players you're not using, and you've given them ridiculous wages. Now, let's start off with the Cronkies, because this is them being the Cronkies, of course, right? I want to support them. But when you look at what Man City have done, and when you look at what Liverpool have done, in order to compete with Manchester City in the previous years, they've done well in terms of giving us money, in terms of investing money in this project. But that's not enough. It's not enough for you to buy Odegaard and Rice and Partey and Jorginho. It's not enough. You've got to go and still bring in Bruno Guimaraes. You've got to go and still bring in Nico Williams. You still need to invest in this project. If it's going to be the project that wins us the Premier League 3 or 4 times, wins us the Champions League 2 or 3 times, you've got to invest there. And however much I understand their strategy, it's not going to be easy to sell. So they're saying, if Arsenal don't buy or don't sell, we won't be able to buy. And so my question is, why have we been wasting time over the last 3 summers trying to invest a lot of money? If you're going to invest a lot of money for 3 summers or 4 summers and then leave it at that, you better not invest in any way, because this team that we have right now, for me, yes, it's a good team, but it's going to be easily beaten by Man City next season. It's easily beaten by Man City. You need curtain raisers. You need level raisers, and the Cronkies need to understand this. Now, I don't want to call them stingy. I don't want to call them, bad owners. But I think, in my opinion, they saw this coming. They saw us giving these guys ridiculous amounts of wages, and they were like, okay, let's wait and see what's going to happen. Let's wait and see what's going to happen. And now, we can't offload these players quickly. They're saying, we are not going to invest more money, fast move on the players. And then this goes back to Edu and Mikel Arteta. Honestly, for Christ's sake, right? I don't want to cuss in this video. For Christ's sake, How in the absolute hell of football do you expect to move on Eddie Nketiah, one of the worst strikers on the planet, when he's earning 100,000 per week? What were we thinking? Were we thinking that Eddie Nketiah is a long-term project? Is he a long-term part of this project? Because if he is, I understand why we gave him 100k a week. But if he is not, then someone to explain to me why Eddie is on 100k a week and the clubs that you're looking to sell him to are not Man United, Man City, Newcastle, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. They're not that club. The clubs you're looking to sell him to are, in chronological order, Marseille, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Southampton, Brighton, and all these clubs are running the same strategy. They're trying to sell players, they're trying to buy players on a chip and flip them on for profit. So if they sign a player right now that's earning 100,000, right? How much are they going to pay him, and how much are they going to, sell him to the next club? It really doesn't make any sense. So the Cronkies are saying we have invested around 600 million, 700 million. Can we see some players that you're not using move on? Because the Cronkies are right. They've seen Mikel Arteta use around 2-3 players, not three players, but 14, 15 players of his squad. And they're like, what about Reece Nelson? We've just given him 100k a week. Why isn't he playing football? The manager doesn't trust him. What about Zinchenko? The manager doesn't trust him anymore. What about Kivio? The manager doesn't trust him anymore. Eddie Nketiah, the manager doesn't trust him anymore. So we have created a pool of deadwood on heavy wages that we didn't have to. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. We've created a pool of deadwood that is earning heavy wages that we actually didn't have to. And now it's going to be very hard to move these players on. You can see ESR. I don't think ESR is earning big wages, but ESR, there's value there. But Eddie Nketiah, Aaron Ramsdale, those guys are going to be very hard for us to move on. And we know we are not very good at selling. And at some point in time, we are not good at selling, right? At some point in time, we're not good at selling. And we have just given our players huge wages. We couldn't sell them 2-3 years ago when we could give them smaller wages. They were on smaller wages. We couldn't pay them big money, and we still couldn't sell them. Most of them went on a free. Some others went on contracts cancelled. Now they're earning bigger wages, like times 10 what they were earning then. How are we supposed to move on this deadwood? So Arsenal are screwed either way. Even if the Cronkies are saying we will invest money, but you have to first sell, we are screwed. Even if the Cronkies are saying sell, get money from the players that you have, and then reinvest in the squad, we are absolutely screwed this summer. So Fabrizio Romano has also confirmed that Crystal Palace are set to make a bid for ESR to Arsenal. Fulham had a proposal rejected by Arsenal this week, and Palace are now set to try as well, as Oliver Glasner, the manager, really wants him. Palace are also looking to sign other players, of course, but ESR to the manager is a primary target. This story has also been collaborated by TalkSport, who have said that Crystal Palace are preparing a 30 million offer to sign Emile Smith Rowe from Arsenal. They understand that the Gunners would be willing to part with company with the midfielder if they're offered 35 million pounds this summer. So with the strategy that we are working with, one comes in, one goes out. This is a very good story. This is a very good deal for Arsenal. And I don't think that Emile Smith Rowe is a player that's going to leave for 40 million. But I think 30 to 35 million, we are going to see offers there. Now, the good advantage that Arsenal have in this one is that you have two clubs that are really interested in ESR. Fulham made their bid. It was rejected. Some people are saying that it was 25 million. Other people are saying it was 30 million. We cannot tell for sure. But what we can tell for sure is that at least this week, Arsenal have two bids on their table for ESR. One from Crystal Palace, 30 million. And the other from Fulham, 25 to 30 million as well. So I think what Arsenal are now really trying to do here is that we're trying to make sure that we get the maximum amount of money from the players we have. We've been really spending a lot of money on players. I can't lie. 100 million on Declan Rice, 50 million on Ben White, 40 million on Julian Timber, and a couple of other players, and 60 million on Kai Havertz. We've spent a lot of money in the last few years, and of course, there's no value to actually prove that, to actually I would say testify that. You don't have trophies. All you can do right now is to sell some players, some parts of your squad in order to reinvest, in the rest of the squad. So for me, ESR, however much I don't want him to leave, if the strategy is that Arsenal have to let go of one to get in another, he's one of the players we've got to let go of. And him and Edin Ketia, right now, I think ESR, Edin Ketia, and Kivio are our best bets this summer to get in some very good money. They are our best bets. I'm not going to lie. They are our best bets. Because think about this. ESR could go for 35. Nketiah could go for around 35, and Kivio could go for around 25. If you combine that, that's like 90 million or 85 million. The rest of the other players, Reiss Nelson is going to go for like 15. I don't expect him to go for much than that. Zinchenko, I don't expect Alexander Zinchenko to actually even have offers this summer. And even if he has, it's going to be around 20 million or even 15. I don't expect clubs to try and pay huge amounts of money for Alexander Zinchenko. So if the strategy is selling, if the strategy is you move on some and then you sign others, then Arsenal 100% don't have a choice but to sell Emile Smith Rowe. And I won't be surprised, guys, listen. I won't be surprised this summer if an important player who is not Thomas Partey actually leaves. And I'm not saying we are going to see Trossard or Martinelli or Saka leave, but I won't be surprised if a player like Gabriel Jesus eventually left Arsenal. If a good offer came in, I won't be surprised if a good offer takes Gabriel Jesus away from the club, or if a good offer takes a player like I don't know, one important player. One player that Arsenal can surely say we can get 50 million or we can get 60 million out of this player. Now, the good thing is that most of our players are not linked with a move away, but I won't be surprised. If it's about the squad now being self-sustaining and reinvesting by selling, don't be surprised if one of your beloved players leaves this summer. I'm just going to leave that there. Now, Reiss Nelson, according to the ex-West Ham employee on Twitter, and Fabrizio as well, has agreed personal terms on West Ham. He's already given green light to join West Ham. West Ham must, however, find a price that is right and a fee between them and Arsenal for the player to join them. Now, according to reports, Reiss Nelson does not want to join Arsenal in pre-season in the USA Tour this summer. He would love his move to happen before the USA Tour, but that is a little bit unlikely. Well, this one is also pretty much clear. Reiss Nelson has told Arsenal before already he wants to move on. He doesn't want to stay at Arsenal. He wants to find a new club. That is pretty much it. In my opinion, that is pretty much it. When a player says, I want to move on, I want to go somewhere else, I want to play football somewhere else, I don't think my future is here. Whether you like it or not, as a club, you've got to respect those opinions. Whether you like it or not, you've got to give those opinions primary respect. So, Reiss Nelson agreeing personal terms with West Ham. ESR having 2 bids on the table. No bids for Ramsdale yet. Marseille is in talks with Edin Ketia. It seems our selling part of the game has been enhanced a little bit, and Arsenal are more actively selling or looking to sell than we are looking to recruit. And that is not a bad thing in any way, shape, or form. That is not a bad thing in any way, shape, or form. Because, listen, the first thing I'm going to say here is with Nelson, I expected him to leave. If West Ham are willing to give us 15 million, that's a good offer. Like, that's a really, really good offer. Sell him at 15 million. And the Athletic have been saying that Arsenal are looking to sell him at 22 million or 20 plus a few add-ons. I don't think we're going to get that. But 15 million plus add-ons, sell him at that. Then you get Edin Ketia 30 million. You get ESR 30 million. Just get rid of them. Because at the moment, if we are going to buy, we have to sell. We need some extra time. We need some more time. And I don't think We have a lot of time. But anyway, offers are coming in for our players. Let's wait and see what's going to come out of there. Now, Pedro Neto has given the green light to join Arsenal. His agents are very, very positive of joining Arsenal, and the player is also very positive to join Arsenal this summer. However, the price could still be a big problem for Arsenal, as it's about 50 million. I think personal terms will not be a problem for the player, and I also think that the camp of Pedro Neto think this is the summer that he gets a big move. And I don't have a problem with them. I mean, a couple of clubs are interested. Tottenham are interested. Liverpool are interested. Arsenal interested. It shows you the level of this guy. It shows you the level at which he's playing. It shows you the level at which he is at. My problem with Neto is that what if we bring him in and he breaks down? That is my problem. That's why I'm like, Chiesa, anyone? Bakayoko, anyone? Because I know that these guys are more durable than Pedro Neto. I know these guys can play more football than Pedro Neto. Yes, he's more talented than any of them. He's more talented than all of them. But in terms of them being available, in terms of them giving you, more footballing minutes, they are available and they are there as compared to Pedro Neto. But I'm going to say this. Instead of Arsenal signing no one, instead of Arsenal meandering in the market and walking away with no one, I would take Pedro Neto. I'm sorry, I said I wouldn't take him for free. Yeah, I would take him for 50 million. Because listen, this is a weird summer. This is a summer that might end up with Neto not even joining Arsenal. It's a summer that might end up with Neto not joining Arsenal and no one joining Arsenal. So instead of taking no one, I would take Pedro Neto, honestly. And yeah, personal terms were always going to be an easy thing, right? Who doesn't want to play for Arsenal right now? Unless you are like Nico Williams and you are really fixated on Barca, you would want to play for Arsenal right now. So the feeling around the Arsenal camp is that Williams will not join us, and Neto is an easier option and an easier buy. And I also kind of feel that way, apart from the price. Right? Apart from the price. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Lots of stories going around. We will cover them. We'll cover them until we sign someone.